It's almost time for kids to go back to school, and with that, the chances of your child getting sick, well, that can increase. Here with me this morning to talk more about our health is Dr. Michael Chang with UTHealth Houston. He's sharing with us healthy hygiene habits for parents that'll make going back to school a better experience for everyone in the family, right?
I hope so. Yeah.
I know oftentimes I hear from my friends who are parents, the moment their child goes back to the classroom, they bring home all these gnarly little bugs,
Right.
and then the entire family is sick.
Yeah, definitely. We always see a little spike in upper respiratory infections and illness when kids go back to school. So it's very common to see that the first week of September or so. And it's just everybody coming back indoors, coming back into close quarters, and that ability to spread infections really increases when you do that.
And so with that, talking about having good hygiene is really crucial here.
Yeah, absolutely. So hygiene, is really the idea that we're trying to be clean to prevent infection. And so the key part of hygiene, the first thing everyone should think about is hand hygiene. And so we know all about that from the last few years. And even in the before times, hand hygiene really is the most fundamental way to prevent infections. And so good hand washing, good use of hand sanitizer. The key really is to make sure you wash long enough to remove the pathogens from your fingers, and really focusing on your fingertips. So singing the alphabet song while you're washing your hands with soap and water, or using hand sanitizer and making sure you let it air dry completely on your hands so that the exposure time is long enough to kill the pathogens.
And then of course, not touching your face. I'm so guilty of this. I'm always like wiping my eyes or touching my face. We're encouraging kids not to do that.
That's exactly right. Yeah, and so also, what we heard about during the pandemic, cough into your sleeves.
Right, your elbow, not your hand.
That's right, exactly. And if you do that, then, or you use a tissue, make sure you throw that away quickly, and then hand sanitizer and hand washing again.
What makes it easy for germs to spread in an environment like a classroom?
Yeah, so most of the infections that we talk about for younger kids and school-age kids are respiratory infections. And so most of these are respiratory viruses, but could include things like strep throat. And these infections generally spread through respiratory droplets. So when you cough or when you talk, saliva, and those droplets kind of get into the air and then they get on surfaces. And so as you're talking and interacting, you're spreading these droplets and you're also, coming in contact with them. And so that's what really allows these infections to spread in these kind of close contact situations.
And then of course, having good hygiene can really promote one's confidence, especially for older children, teen children.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it's important to separate like hygiene from grooming habits, right? Yeah.
Right.
So that's one thing to be clear about. And so yes, absolutely, good hygiene, especially like dental hygiene, keeping your teeth, brushing regularly, flossing regularly, that can help reduce infections. It can help reduce breath odor if that's makes people self-conscious. And so that self-esteem and that engagement in school is really what improves kind of academic performance, and also staying healthy so you don't miss school, right? So being absent from class is going to hurt your ability to learn and keep kids not feeling engaged in school. So as much as you can be in the classroom and staying healthy, that's going to help people have better academic performance.
I grew up in upstate New York, and so we did not return to school until after Labor Day.
Oh, wow.
However, we returned a few weeks early because I played soccer, we played sports, and so we were back in or on school property probably in mid-August practicing. And for our family, that was the time we went to the doctors, our annual physical. Right. We got up to speed on any vaccinations that we needed, that sort of thing. What would you encourage parents who are like, oh man, the clock's ticking, I only have a few weeks left, I need to get in to see the doctor for my child's annual physical? Any advice to them?
Yeah, I would just say reach out early, reach out now as you're thinking ahead, and then just check in with your pediatrician or your healthcare provider. Make sure you have refills on all your medications. You were just talking about kind of the air quality, kids with asthma, if you have diabetes, any kind of underlying conditions, you want to make sure those are controlled well, that you have your necessary medications. And like I said, just check in early. Go ahead and reach out now, contact your healthcare provider, and make sure you get that appointment and get in to be seen.
Awesome. Dr. Chang, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it.